so we're going to go through the language spiraling for Year 6 level. Well done for trying it at home because it is quite hard. It's trying to push you to the next level.
I researched.
Fantastic. And that's problem solving. It's not a test, so I want you to do that, okay? Do exactly that.
I legit didn't know any words, so I legit researched everything.
Okay, that's good. Because, again, if it's not a test, team, then it's a perfect opportunity for you to practice your problem solving skills, your resilience, okay, and your patience in learning something new, okay? So you should do exactly that. You can either research it up, you can ask an expert who you think will be able to let you know straight away, and then you bring it and we mark it with a marking pen. Now, when we are marking, you do not put a big cross or you scribble if something is wrong. Why? Yes. Not just that.
So you know which level?
So that you honor your efforts. Does that make sense?
Okay.
You learn through mistakes. So are you allowed to make mistakes?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And so if you get it wrong, just write the correct answer with the marking pen, and we don't need to cross it out or scribble it because you need to honor the fact that you tried it in the first place. That's very important. Got it? Okay. All right. So let's start with set 1, day 1.
Okay.
Question number 1. Use context clues. First of all, can I get you to highlight context clues? You can use my highlighter or your own.
Context, right?
Context clues.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It's like the information in the text.
In that part of
Yeah.
the text, okay? Which is going to give you some clues, okay, as to what a certain word means. All right. Use context clues to find out what the underlined word means. For his birthday, can you follow me with your eyes?
Yeah.
For his birthday, Miles really wanted a tablet, but Mom said but Mom said the one he wanted was too expensive.
What's a tablet?
Tablet is like an iPad. Yeah.
Why did they call it a tablet?
Because technically an iPad is Apple owned. A tablet is iPad form, but other brands like Samsung, etc. Okay? Yeah. In the end, they had to compromise. So it's this word here. Compromise. Does compromise mean A, settle a disagreement by both sides making a concession, giving something up? B, promise to do a chore in the future? C, settle a disagreement by arm wrestling. Now, it's multi-choice. So in general cases, when you have multi-choice, there's going to be, usually there's 4. 2 is going to be impossible, and then you're going to have 1 that's very, very similar. But in this case, there's 3. But still, 1 is definitely impossible. Which one is definitely
Settle
not?
a disagreement by
Arm wrestling, I agree. Okay, that is definitely not the answer.
I did too, but I crossed out the C ones.
Does it say anything about promising to do a chore in the future?
I did A.
No.
I did A.
So the answer is A.
Yay. I did B.
That's all right. So remember, just highlight the correct one with a highlighter.
Do I take mine?
You can tick yours if it's correct.
Yeah, tick.
But that is the only option that makes sense, right? You know, Mum and Miles had a disagreement, okay, because he wanted a tablet, one is too expensive. In the end, they came to a compromise. So it must mean that they met each other halfway, right? Okay? All right, match the words below to their meanings. Remote. Does that word remind you of anything else?
Remote island.
Remote island, yes. Anything else?
Somewhere that is somewhere far away.
Yeah.
Or the remote for the TV control.
Yeah, remote control. So both of them is helping you to be more convenient somewhere, very far. So let's look for a definition that has something similar to that.
I
Remote.
said something or somewhere that is far away.
Correct.
Me too.
Yeah, so give it a tick if you have linked those two up. The word and the definition. Definition means the meaning, okay? Actually put that word down.
What do I do? Definition.
Yeah, the definition means like the meanings of words. Just a fancy way of saying it. Don't ask me why, because English is weird. Elevation. What words does the word elevation remind you of?
It reminds me of increasing or becoming higher.
Have you heard of the word elevator?
Yeah?
What's that?
It's like this thing where you go up for like hotels have one.
Yeah, so elevation and elevator have the same. I want you to write this down, please.
Wait, what did I write?
Where there is space.
Or do I write the remote island?
Yes, that would be great. But elevator and elevation have the same prefix. Do you know what prefix is? Goes in the front.
Yeah, prefix.
What goes in the end?
I thought you were talking to me.
The end is suffix.
Suffix.
Okay, so let's write that down so that we can remember that for next time, okay? So connections we can make with language.
Did I get it right though?
Yeah, you still get it right. I think. Well, did you put it with increasing or becoming higher?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's correct.
Yay!
If no, are you going to put a big cross? No, just with a different color marking pen. Okay, write down the correct answer. All right, next word, robust.
Me. Well, there's only one.
Well, there is
answer.
only one option. It must be strong, healthy, and sturdy.
The first time I saw remote was remote control, and then I didn't, and then I didn't see remote. So I did the last two ones, and then I went back to this, and then did like one up. So
I
like,
see. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you've learned something. Now, all the vocabulary that you're learning from the language spiraling, listening to Miss Cool, okay, are all connected to your leveled vocabulary. Okay, so what you want to try and do is everything that we learn in the language spiraling, you want to transfer them, the knowledge and the words, into your writing as much as you can, because they are at the level where you need to be. Make sense? Okay, so see if you can put the words remote, elevation, and robust in your writing if you can. Put the word below into a sentence that makes sense. Compromise. What's your sentence, Roger?
They did a compromise.
They...
Does it mean a promise or I agree with something?
Compromise in Chinese is 妥协. 妥协.
What is that?
妥协, it's like, you know, it's not exactly what you want fully. 可是
it's like half like
it's
what
you
want.
meet someone halfway. 可是也可以啦.
对
Okay, because 我们也不能be too selfish, right?
就是 like 不是你特别想要的，可是就是也可以。
也可以. So that's called a compromise. So I would probably, if we're doing, it didn't ask you to do a context clue sentence, but you can make up one. So something along the lines of, it's correct, you can give it a tick, but write down my example as well, because I'm gonna do a context clue sentence.
If I did
They compromised and met each other halfway. Full stop. Make sure you have a capital letter and a full stop, otherwise it's not technically a correct sentence.
Wait. Done. I've got them all right so far.
Fantastic, but it's not a competition.
I know.
Okay, and just, be happy inside, because remember, we need to look after other people's feelings. Not everyone else got it correct, okay? Which one? Each other. Other. So, do you think it's a ER or AR? ER, right? Halfway. Alright. Okay, set 1, day 2. Question number 1. Use context clues again, to find out what the underlined word means. On her 12th birthday, Mary's mom took her to the bank to get her own bank account. The manager took them to a table and gave them a form titled Form to Establish
Okay, do I highlight it?
a new account. Yes. Does establish mean A, make adjustments to, B, set something up that will be permanent, or C, close down? The one that's definitely impossible is close down because they're going to open something, okay?
Can I?
Yes,
It's B, right?
it is B.
Yay!
Because how can you make an adjustment to something that you haven't set up?
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay? Any questions about that?
Nope.
Alright. Match the words below to their meanings. Permanent means it is meant to last.
Tick.
Continuing with no interruption. Domestic, does that remind you of anything?
Me.
Or both of you? Shan? Domestic. Where have you heard of that word before?
It's
Yes. Domestic pets.
Domestic family member.
Domestic.
Actually, what does domestic mean? I just want to pet it and add those two.
That's alright. So you've heard of domestic cats, domestic pets, okay? Have you heard of domestic flights? Okay? They're the opposite to international flights. So international means flying out of the country.
I know. It's like, I think domestic
That's
is
like
in
flying
the
in the
country,
country.
is in the...
Yeah,
the
so
country, but somewhere
domestic,
else.
correct. So domestic means related to the home or family.
I searched that.
Good.
I cheated.
No, you haven't cheated. It's not a test. So you haven't cheated. Okay? Plummet means fall down at high speed.
I actually knew that.
So this one is a verb. What's a verb? Yes?
Is it a door?
Yeah, action word. Okay? Permanent and domestic. What parts of speech is that?
Fall down at a high speed.
Yep, that's a meaning, but what parts of speech? How can I use the word permanent and how can I use the word domestic in my writing?
There was a permanent issue.
I went
Permanent
to
issue. So issue is the noun. So what is permanent?
Verb?
It's the adjective. It's describing the issue, right? So permanent is adjective. Remember, add a noun behind it if it makes sense, then it's an adjective. Permanent issue. Yes? Okay? Domestic cat. Does it make sense?
Uh-huh.
So that's also an adjective. Okay? Alright. So that's how you would use them in your writing. If you're looking for an adjective to put in front of a noun, then you could use them. Alright, plummet.
Can I do it?
I just kind of did your one. So Shan, do you have a sentence that I can use? We'll rotate. Okay? What's yours, my dear?
I went to the plummet to skydive.
Okay. So plummet is a verb, my dear. So it's an action.
Can I share mine?
So I would probably say something like, when I was skydiving, I plummet from a high point.
Wait,
Okay, something like that.
Is this one right? I plummeted down the cliff with high speed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yay.
Yep. Because it's a verb. As long as you've used it as a verb, okay, I plummet down from the Shan, your one, skydive. Full stop. Make sure you have a capital letter and a full stop. I plummet down from the skydive. Got it? Okay. Good. Alright, day 3. Again, starting with context clues. I'm going to be late and miss the house assembly, worried Max, looking outside to the brightening day. No, don't worry, Dad reassured him. Daylight savings ended yesterday. It's only 7 o'clock. Does reassure mean shout at? Make someone worry about something? Say or do something to remove someone's fears? Correct. Because it wouldn't make sense. Dad's trying to make him feel better, so anything that is doing the opposite must not be it. Okay? Okay, so say or do something to remove someone's fears. Okay? And just highlight the correct one with a highlighter. Alright, my dear? Good. Match the words below to their meanings. Ingenious.
Oh, I thought that was a
Ingenious. Ingenious is clever, original, and inventive, right?
Yes. Now here's my next question. Ingenious.
Yeah.
What's the difference between ingenious and genius?
You're not genius?
No, ingenious means clever,
You're
original.
clever, but like not that clever.
You're like, okay.
It has to do with parts of speech again. Have a think about it. How would I put it into a sentence?
He was really ingenious. Was his work?
Okay. So then how would I put genius into a sentence?
He was a genius.
He was a genius, or he is a genius, right? So in this case, genius is a... He is a genius, right? Okay. Ingenious is an adjective. What an ingenious idea. Make sense? Okay, they both mean the same thing. What an ingenious idea. So in the case, you can't say,
She is so ingenious.
yeah, you can't say that.
Oh, I thought you could.
Right. You can't say it's not a noun. Oh no, you can say she is so
ingenious.
No, yes, you can say, because you're describing she, right? She is so ingenious, but you can't say she is so genius.
You are so
She is such a genius. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you understand the difference between adjective, okay, and noun? Can we put that on the side, because that's quite important?
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, that's okay. All right, put this down, and then image is to become visible.
Excuse me.
Yes. Huh?
You're blocking.
Oh, sorry. There you go. Yes, you can go quickly. Okay. We'll just continue, and Sean, you can catch up, okay, when you come back. So glisten is to shine or sparkle when wet.
Yeah. I've got the ruler.
Fantastic. Put the word below into a sentence that makes sense. What'd you get? I am really ingenious. Yes.
Yay.
Because you're describing you.
Yeah.
Yep, then it's an adjective, then that's fine. Okay. You can't say I am very genius. Yeah, because genius is a noun. So I'm gonna put down the example that was an ingenious idea. So that you know exactly that's an ADJ plus noun. Yes? Okay, fantastic. Capital letter and a full stop, otherwise it's not a sentence.
Read it?
Yes, that'll be good. Okie ducks.
Okie dokes.
Last one.
Okay.
This one here has a bit of te reo mori.
Okay.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have Maui.
Oh, okay. Awesome. It's this word here. Do you know how to pronounce it?
Wire.
Fire.
Oh, sorry.
So fire means miss. Okay? Someone, a respectable female kind of leader, you say fire. It's te reo mori. Okay, Shan? So this word here is not English, it's Te Reo Māori.
Wait, is it the fire?
No, it's different. It means, it sounds like that, okay? But it means a respectable female leader, okay? So I wouldn't joke about it, okay? Otherwise it will be disrespectful, okay? So fire is that. The opposite of fire, so a respectable elder male, so like someone you would call Mr, is called matua. I had to teach this when I was a classroom teacher, so that's how I remember, okay? So fire is Miss, matua is Mr, okay? And again, respectable elder female, respectable elder male. So Fire Deborah frowned as she looked up at the overcast sky. Overcast is a compound word.
Yeah, because it's over and cast, right?
Correct. So in English we call that a compound word. Let's write that down.
Okay.
I'm a bit concerned it might rain at the picnic, she told her class. Please make sure you've packed a raincoat before you get on the bus. Does overcast mean most of the day is sunny?
No.
That wouldn't make sense because then they wouldn't need a raincoat, so it can't be that. Most of the sky is cloudy. That might be it. That might be it, but we always check to see the last answer. Raining. Can't be because
if you said grab your raincoat,
exactly.
It's not raining.
Yeah, but it's not raining yet.
And she said I'm afraid.
Yes. And also this context clue gives it to you. Might rain. Might rain. So it's not raining yet. Okay? Okay, so we've got two more questions. Match the words below to their meanings. Embroider is sew patterns.
Yep.
Not sew. Some people will say sew.
I thought it was sew.
Sew. Sewing. Okay? Just making a connection. How do you pronounce this word?
Iwi.
So English is weird, okay? Usually it has patterns on how you pronounce it, but sometimes it has irregular words. It's pronounced you.
Huh?
And do you know what it means?
So Y-O-U.
Yes, it's pronounced you. When I was learning English, I thought it was iwi as well. Okay, but it's actually pronounced you, and it means
so confusing.
and it means a female sheep.
Huh?
Yeah, it's called a ewe.
What?
Yeah.
It doesn't use an E.
Anyway, so we've got some irregular words in English, okay, that we just kind of need to remember. It doesn't really follow the patterns.
Bit weird.
Yes. Interpret, explain, or understand the meaning of another language.
Yeah.
Squint is a verb, looking at something with someone with eyes partly closed. So it's like this. You can't quite see, squinting. Or when the sun is very big, okay, you squint. Yes. Put the word below into a sentence that makes sense. Interpret. What do you guys put down for that? Yes.
Interpret to someone else.
Interpret to someone else. We can be a little bit more specific.
This is right though.
Huh? It is correct, yes. As long as you have a capital letter and a full stop.
I do.
Okay. But I could make it slightly a bit more specific. Hi, Alexia. How are you?
I'm okay.
All right, it's all right. You just join in and get out your language filing because that's what we're going through first. Okay. We're going through the last one, but that's okay. When we finish, I'll leave this up so that you can catch up. Okay. So I would say something along the lines of, okay, if I was to give a context clue sentence, okay, so someone who doesn't know the word, if they read it, hopefully they will be understand, okay. My teacher has to interpret some of the language for me. Full stop. So interpret a synonym, like a word that is similar, is pretty much teach or help you understand. Okay? Explain it in a way that you understand. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Capital letter, full stop. Otherwise, it's not
A sentence.
a sentence. Well done. Any questions about this week's language spiraling?
Nah.
Fantastic. You'll get another one this week. Again, it is not a test. And it is trying to help you reach the next level. So it is going to be hard. So I do expect you to stay calm, practice your patience, problem solve, look it up, ask around, and then bring it back so that we can go through it together. All right? Awesome, team. Thank you.